I'm Latasha Rowley. I teach grades 4 and 5 at the Center for Inquiry, which is in Indianapolis, Indiana. The Center for Inquiry is a literature-based educational facility, and the students have choice in what they read in a lot of the literature selections. And I think having that choice helps the students to really engage in the literature and enjoy what they're reading.
We're going to get ready for our reading workshop. Yes, how exciting. Good, I like that. Be excited. What I'd like for us to do before we get into our groups, I have a little passage from one of the books from one of the groups. And it is A Family Apart. We're going to talk through this passage, and then you'll get in your groups.
Sometimes we start our literature discussion groups with a whole group discussion. I do that hopefully to model what a smaller group discussion will look like, and then it gives the students something to draw from when they get into their groups.
It says, Ma rose. One last kiss before we say goodbye, she said and turned to Frances, holding her tightly. I know that someday you'll understand and forgive me, love, she murmured. Finally, Ma let go, her eyes brimming with moisture. Ma's gaze fell on each of her children one more time. Then she blew them all a kiss and turned away. Frances watched her mother stride down the hall and desperately fought against the panic that made her want to run screaming after Ma. Don't leave us, Ma, Frances whispered. I want to stay with you. I don't want any part of life in the West. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of maybe some things we thought about in hearing that. And those of you who were in that group, you read that. So what are some facts? What has happened in this passage?
Frances is leaving her mother.
Frances is leaving her mother. Yeah, that's a fact. And
Not just Frances, but all of Frances' brothers and sisters.
The mother doesn't want the children to leave at all.
you felt that, didn't it? It was some pain there. Very good. China.
She's leaving them because she couldn't afford to have them, and she wanted them to be in a better place.
She wanted them to be in a better place. Okay. Now let's go into some emotions, some feelings, some thoughts. What are our thoughts about this?
It's sad, and
You said it's sad?
yeah, and
Okay.
it seems like that part is like about the title, because it's like a family apart, like the family's getting a part of the rest of the family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does tie in with our title, A Family Apart.
I also think that's kind of sad, and I don't know, I'm not sure if she probably tried enough or not, but I think that she could probably try a little bit more to take care of them.
You think she needed to try a little harder? Okay. All right. That's a good thought.
I think that Frances, she was kind of mad at her mother because she wanted her to keep on trying no matter what. And somewhat she was mad at her mother for giving them away. But she still wanted to be with her mother. She just didn't understand.
So do you think it was okay for Frances to be mad at Mom?
I mean, I really don't know, because some kids, we don't understand, so we have a right to be mad sometimes, and then we don't.
Okay. So when you say kids don't understand, what is it that they might not understand?
I mean, they don't understand. Money don't grow off trees.
Oh, yeah, I heard that comment before. Yeah, that's a good one.
And that she just had to give them up.
Good thoughts, good comments, good. Get with your groups. I'd like a group here in the back. I'd like a group up here, a group in the middle.
In our class, we have 5 literature discussion groups going at the same time based on historical fiction. The 5 are Walking the Road to Freedom, and that deals with Sojourner Truth. and Which Way Freedom, that deals with Civil War, and I Have a Dream, which is a focus on Dr. Martin Luther King. A Family Apart and Writing Freedom both deal with life in the 1800s.
I think that was wrong though. When they killed Tyler.
I know that was stupid.
They put him in a box and sent him back. I think.
Yeah, they used to do that. They used to push people out to sea.
And then when they said if they was taking another risk to run away, because if they got caught by the Yankees or if they even got caught by the dogs, they was gonna get killed because the dogs would make noises. And then the Yankees would have came outside and killed them.
Many of the literature discussion groups move at different pace. I have several that are still working their way through the actual piece of literature where they're discussing the events that are happening, the characters.
Did Obi and his friends die? Some of them, because Tyler died.
Tyler died.
Jason, I think, is going to die.
Yeah, I think he's going to.
And I think Puka probably.
I think he's going to die of old age.
Yeah, he's probably going to die of old age or cancer or something.
I think his legs from that. Because some people back then had diseases from other people.
Yeah, he probably got cancer or something like that.
The questions in our discussion groups are very important. We don't find any questions that we feel are dumb or, insignificant. The one thing that I really like about the literature discussion groups is the fact that they do respect each other's questions most of the time, and they do like to participate in trying to answer those questions.
Why was it best for Charlotte to run away?
Because they wasn't going to never let her get adopted.
I know. And if I'm somewhere where I ain't want,
You know,
I'll be out there instead.
see you.
I think my clothes in the middle of the night. It's nighttime, like 2, 3 in the morning.
I think that she ran away because Miss Boyd always made her do chores and stuff. I would get tired
I
of that.
would think about you peeling potatoes and then I'm not getting the play with the horses.
But it matters how many potatoes. It matters how many potatoes.
I know it's like 10 of them, that's okay, but if it's more than 10.
I chop every one. I be like, I'm
And
done.
you the only girl there doing all the work for the boys.
Satan, the boys better come in. Why don't y'all do
I think that's the reason why she cut her hair.
We're reading Writing Freedom, and it's about this girl named Charlotte. She's in the orphanage, and Miss Boyd, she's like a teacher or something like that, and she makes Charlotte peel potatoes and do a lot of stuff. And one day, Charlotte cut her hair to make her look like a boy, and she ran away.
Ebenezer was a boy, and Charlotte was a girl dressing up like a boy.
Like, if they sleep in the same room, you think it's just a boy, but it's a girl.
So they sleep with a girl.
Handing it over to the students was a big challenge as far as allowing them the independence to make the decisions on how they were going to conduct their literature discussion groups. Sometimes the discussion is more on the surface until I come to their group, and then we can take it to another level. So what are we talking about over here? Have we had any discussion yet?
Where's my girl?
Oh, you're gonna do a play as your culminating experience?
Well, we're going to start from where she was in the courtroom because Mike got arrested for picking up a knife or whatever. That's why they had to go to court because the cops caught him. And then the judge, I think, ordered them to...
It was either like going to jail.
Yeah, ordered their mother to give up her kids because she couldn't keep them off the street.
She couldn't keep them off the street? Oh,
That's where I found it.
so she wasn't a very good mom, or...
She was a good mom, but...
Well, how come she couldn't keep them off the street?
I don't think she watched them enough.
She didn't watch them enough?
Yeah, because she got work.
She had their dad died.
She is a very
I think in the war or
hardworking.
something.
Okay.
They said in the
Start from the beginning.
Okay, so dad died, and it's just mom and the kids.
Yeah.
And how many kids again?
6, I believe.
6 kids? Oh, what I try to do is go from literature group to literature group and incorporate some of those questions that they may not ask. And when I ask those questions, I'm hoping to get more information and maybe get higher level thinking for them to engage a little bit deeper.
Frances, I believe, promised her mother that she would stay with Peter or Peg or someone like that. And so she had Joseph as a boy because her little sibling that she was going to stay with was a girl, and they most likely want boys. So
And she took Mike's pocket knife and cut off her hair in the alley and put on a hat and everything.
So she cut off her hair so she looked more like a boy. Well, what do you think about that? Do you think that she needed to look like a boy? What do you think?
I think she did if she wanted to stay with her little family.
And how come all the books that I get into got girls dressing up like boys?
Well, it's only a couple books that have that incident. Well, there's a connection. So you can connect with the other book, right? And maybe during this time period, remember it was the same time in history? Yeah, what is that, 1830s or so, or 1880s? I don't remember. But maybe because women didn't have the kinds of rights that men had, and so these girls felt like to make life better for themselves, they had to be a boy.
Instead of staying in
What do
the
you
house
think
the
about
whole
that?
entire day.
What do you think about that?
See, she came this close because she had to go shower off and everything, and they had, I think they had to
They
shower
only had
together.
one bathtub.
I think they had
The students have definitely improved over the year in their literature discussions. At the very beginning, they were very hesitant to share any information, but now that we're getting toward the end of the year, they enjoy talking about their thoughts and their ideas and their personal connections and what they really think about the book.
This is Bella Hartenberg. She's a hard-working slave, and let's start the bidding since she's so hard-working, and since she's only 9, at $10. 20, 35.
35.
And then I also have a group that finished their book, and now they're working on their culminating experience, and they're actually deciding that they're going to do a skit to share their learning with the rest of the class on what the book meant to them and then what they learned from the book.
57, 51. All right. Bella Hartenberg is sold to John Nealing for $50.
Come on, Taryn, girl.
We're reading Walking the Road to Freedom, and it's like a biography kind of about Sojourner Truth and her life and what she did and everything.
Bella became very popular. She decides to change her name.
Now my name is Sojourner Truth.
What a wonderful name.